So hey everybody, it's Vitali here at Red Barn Productions, and tonight we are talking about the coronavirus, or COVID-19 in 2020. Uh, People are panicking. Over on social media, they're going from one extreme to the other, and the truth is somewhere in the middle. Let's start off with the latest updates on what people are doing in the U.S. trying to flatten the curve. Ohio and Illinois have ordered the statewide closure of bars and restaurants to combat the spread of the coronavirus. Man, that's going to hurt a lot of mom and pop businesses in Ohio and Illinois. Y'all pray for them. Massachusetts is allowing takeout and food delivery only, banning people from dining out. No, I kind of have to shake my head at this one a little bit because now you've got delivery drivers going door to door to people's homes, and if he gets exposed, how many people is he or she going to expose before they're diagnosed with COVID-19? You know, some states are like Ohio, Oregon and Texas are limiting events to 250 people or less. Well, that's probably too little too late in my opinion, because if one person shows up at that event of 250 people and they are infected, then that 250 people might as well be 20,000. People are wiping out the shelves. I don't know about the rest of the country, but I've been seeing reports from Tennessee, Ohio, here in Texas, here locally especially, where H-E-B, their shelves are completely empty. H-E-B has announced that they're cutting store hours, and they're putting a limit on the items that you can buy because they're completely out of inventory. Walmart is in the same boat, and I'm going to bring up another topic. I want to point out why the panic buying is so bad, people. Trucking was already in a downturn for 2019, and that was carrying over into 2020. There was not as many truck drivers out on the road. There's not as many trucks on the road. I know y'all don't believe this, but that's true. I just made a trip to Oregon and back, and I was shocked at how few trucks there were out. So now all of us, most cities only have a 3-day inventory of goods, be it food, milk, bottled water, stuff like that, and they get their deliveries once, twice a week. So if you go in there and you wipe them out, you just put an undue strain on the system, and with the driver. The trucking downturn, trucking is not going to be able to immediately jump up into filling this unexpected demand. I fully expect that the Federal Motor Carriers Safety is going to issue a suspension on the hours of service for those carrying food and water here sometime in the near future, because the demand and the supply and demand problem is that bad, kind of like they did during Hurricane Katrina. How many of y'all remember that? I'm going to talk a little bit about the COVID-19 itself. Social media people are sitting there carrying on about how, the flu killed 67,000 people, blah, 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 and they're trying to compare it to the flu. Here's the problem, people. It's not the flu. The flu has a global death rate of 0.1%. Keep these numbers in mind, people. 0.1% global death rate. COVID-19 has a global death rate of 3.4%. You're potentially looking at up to 4 million people could die from this in America alone. Now, I'm not saying go screaming and panicking. I'm just saying that you really need to pay attention and take precautions, especially around the extremely young, the elderly, and those that are ill or have serious health issues. people like my wife. So please slow your roll, and if you don't know about it, go look it up, educate yourself, take the proper precautions. Don't panic. Don't run down to Walmart or HEB or Safeway or Piggly Wiggly or whatever you've got in your area and just buy up all the damn toilet paper and hand sanitizer. It's not going to save you. What's going to save you is taking proper precautions. Washing your hands. Good proper hygiene, proper health care. This should run out in a matter of weeks. And some of the things I'm saying I know are terrifying if you think about it. Let's look at the World Health Organization's outbreak map, because I want y'all to think about this. Y'all keep saying that the media is overhyping it and fear mongering, and you know what, to an extent they might be, because the media should be ashamed of themselves the way they report the news nowadays. But let's look at the map a minute, because I want to point out something here. This is as of today, and just think, COVID-19 started right here, one little bitty dot, and of course this dot keeps getting bigger and bigger. But China's about got theirs under control. Well, let's zoom out and look at the rest of the world. I want to show you something. Look at all the outbreaks just right here. And then let's zoom out some more. And all of a sudden, that one little dot that started out right there that is so big now, it's breaking out all over the world. New cases being reported every day. And look. It's slowly spreading across the world, people. Canada didn't have hardly just a little bitty speck right there yesterday, and look, and it's grown quite a bit today. And the U.S. has gotten bigger. Mexico's has gotten bigger. All of a sudden, we've got all these little outbreaks out here on the outlying islands that wasn't there yesterday. It's pretty scary stuff. Spain's death rate doubled overnight last night, people. They reported 208 in the past 24 hours. Italy experienced its deadly day yet with 368 new deaths in one day. Schools all over the country are closing down. Some of them aren't closing down long enough, I don't think. Like here in the Permian Basin, Odessa's is closed for 2 weeks. Midland was closed for a few days, and now I've seen a news article saying that they're going to be opened back up Monday. Bad idea, folks. People were talking about, well, what are we supposed to do about those of us that can't afford health care and stuff? Well, what you can do when your kid dies? Y'all need to get y'all's priorities straight. That's all I'm saying. Times are tough. I work in the arts and entertainment industry. Everything is either canceled or been postponed so far out that I no longer have an income, period. And I do not know what I'm going to do. I've got $3 left in the bank and no work. And everybody's like, well, can't you get a regular job? You must not be paying attention to the news, people. Everything is shutting down, closing down. Out here in the Permian Basin, the oil industry has took a nosedive. Here in a matter of days, you're not going to be able to get a job flipping hamburgers for minimum wage. And here in the great state of Texas, if you're self-employed or been self-employed, it's almost impossible to get any kind of emergency help or benefits. So I do not know what I'm going to do, but I'll deal with it as it comes. That's it for me tonight on the coronavirus. Now, you know what? I may start posting updates on the this right here every day to see how this is, how much this changes, how it grows, how it shrinks. Because I think it's going to grow a lot more before it starts shrinking, people. And I think what we all need to do is just prepare to be stuck at the house for a couple of weeks, staying with our loved ones. I know that's what I don't have a choice. I'm going to stay right here at the house. My wife's had 14 strokes, can barely walk, can barely talk. And as bad as we need the money, I cannot afford to bring that virus home to her. It will kill her, no doubt in my mind. So, y'all need to think about this too. And it's real hard to say not panic, because I can understand how you can be really scared and make rash decisions and stuff. But just slow your roll, put some thought into it, just plan wisely. Do you really need 600 rolls of toilet paper to last you 2 weeks? Do you need 600 rolls of toilet paper to last you a month? No. I'm blessed that we try not to do our grocery shopping but once a month, so I don't have to go to town today or tomorrow to buy groceries or anything else. And I don't understand. I know a lot of people, they talk about they can't do this and they can't do that. Well, I don't understand why you can't have a month's supply of groceries, even in the smallest of apartments, even in a travel trailer. Because I live in a little travel trailer out behind my studio. It's not a little bitty one. Don't get me wrong. It's a 8x40, but it is a travel trailer. It's smaller than some New York apartments, bigger than others. Matter of fact, when me and my wife first got married, we lived in a, I don't remember what you call it now, studio apartment, where the bedroom and the dining area and the kitchen was all one room. This travel trailer is bigger than that. Y'all be careful, you be safe, plan wisely, don't panic, proper hygiene, just plan on battening down the hatches and staying home for a while. Till next time, this is Vitali, and y'all have a good night.